Hello, deep soul divers. This is Astrology, the Nodes, and in this segment, I'm going to talk about Pisces North Node and Virgo South Node. These are my absolute favorite nodes, um, and one of the reasons is there's a lot of people that I've known in my life that have these nodes that I care about, so I want to do these nodes some justice. So, as everyone knows, Virgo is the servant of the zodiac. Virgo is the worrier. They tend to worry, they tend to overanalyze things, they tend to be very service oriented. So they really enjoy helping and serving others and doing things in a very practical way. They are very analytical. So Virgos are known to analyze things and think a little bit too much. And from my own experience, I am a Virgo sun and I have Virgo rising in Mercury and Venus. So I know what it's like to be a Virgo, and they're wonderful traits that help you succeed, and you can be very organized. So in past lifetimes, the Virgo South Node person has mastered the eye for detail. So they are very detail focused, they are very practical, they are very analytical, they're very intelligent, they like to learn things, they're very smart, they like to study and read and master all those things. They probably have a gift for writing and a gift for teaching, and they're very conscientious people and very shy. Um, and they are the perfectionist of the zodiac. So, someone with the South Node in Virgo is learning to move away from all of those Virgo traits that no longer serve them. So, the more negative Virgo traits, they are meant to let go of, and they are meant to become a Pisces. The North Node is your soul mission this lifetime. So, a North Node Pisces person is learning to be helpful just like a Virgo is, but in a different way. And the way I'd like to describe it is the Pisces North Node person is learning to become spiritual. And not that Virgo isn't spiritual, because a lot of Virgos are very spiritual, but they are learning to have trust and faith in a higher power and in the universe, and to release their need for control and to release their need for having things absolutely perfect and absolutely organized and absolutely planned and controlled. Virgos don't like change. Virgos like to know what's going to happen. They like to plan things. They like to be prepared. And they like to make lists, and they like to think of all the different outcomes of things that can happen. And they like to know, what they can do to succeed and perfect things. And this lifetime, a North Node Pisces person has to let go of their need to be perfect. And that can be hard because it may make them feel like they're being lazy if they don't try and analyze and work themselves. Because Virgo South Node, they were workaholics in past lifetimes. They were the people that served others selflessly. Virgo is known to neglect themselves to help others, and one of the classic Virgo traits is not being able to say no. A lot of Virgos will help and help and help, and they will deplete their own energy and their own self serving others because it's hard for them to say no because they feel guilty. And so this lifetime, Pisces North Nodes are learning to let go of guilt and to let go of any kind of negative emotions that make them feel trapped and that make them feel that they have to do things a certain way for them to be perfect, or for them to be good, or for them to be worthy. They're learning that their worth comes from within themselves. And becoming a Pisces is all about becoming compassionate not just with others, but with yourself. So they're learning to be compassionate with themselves, and they're learning to release all types of anxiety and all types of worry and tension. So um, they're going to feel this pull, back and forth from, feeling worry and anxiety and obsessing over that, thinking about that, analyzing that. And they're going to feel this pull once they get into their Saturn return. They're going to start feeling this pull towards release and more of a laid back attitude. More laid back, more, would I describe it as relaxed? There's many things that they're going to start feeling. They're gonna feel more emotional. And sometimes people with these notes tell me, my whole life, I really am not an emotional person. I'm not real expressive of my emotions or my feelings. I keep my feelings and emotions under wraps. That's what a lot of people with the South Node and Virgo tell me, that, they may feel, but they don't express their love nature, or they don't express their loving, passionate feelings for people that they care about. But they're going to start feeling that they are more raw. Their emotions are more on the surface, so they're able to start feeling more. And I had a couple people that I've helped that have the South Node in Virgo years ago, and both of them told me, they would get really emotional about things that they didn't used to, and they would cry. They would cry more often, which, really, really bothered them because they never showed emotion before. So they weren't used to crying, and they were very, shocked by this and a little bit worried about themselves. And I'm like, embrace it. You're learning to be a Pisces, and Pisces are the compassionate ones. Pisces are the spiritualists. Pisces are the empathics. Pisces are the people that wear their heart on their sleeve, and when you cry, they cry. And when you feel pain, they feel pain. They're very much chameleons. They absorb everything and everyone's problems, and they feel everybody's pain. And being a Virgo, Virgos don't feel people's pain. They still serve and help others, and they recognize practically what pain is. But a Virgo doesn't feel the emotional depth of what feeling pain means, but a Pisces does. So they're moving towards a sense of depth of emotion, becoming more deep and more philosophical. And the biggest lesson for a Pisces North Node person is to learn not to judge themselves or others so harshly, because they do have a high standard for how they expect others to behave, and how they expect to treat others, and how they themselves are. They're perfectionists. So as we know, no one's perfect, and we can do the best we can to try to be perfect, but nobody's perfect. But they want to perfect themselves, and letting go of that need, letting go of that South Node Virgo trait can be a little bit hard, but it's definitely doable. And some things that help them let go of that need to be perfect, and that need to control themselves and their emotions, is to trust and have faith in a higher power. They need a spiritual path. This is the node that a person must become spiritual. And if they resist it, I often find that they will lose things. It's similar to the 12th house energy, the sun in the 12th house and planets in the 12th house, because it's, Pisces rules the 12th house. So it's the node of, if the person doesn't put spirituality and God and the universe and serving others and finding out who they are and studying psychology and studying dreams and interpreting their dreams, and going to meditations and relaxations and spending time alone and doing yoga. If they don't do those types of things, it'll be a little bit more difficult for them because those activities will help them connect with their soul and their spirit. And they're meant to connect within. They're meant to go within. And the way I describe it with this node is Virgos are very much about without, out there. Virgo is an earth sign. So Virgo wants to perfect the world and perfect practical matters. Virgo is very work focused. So they like to complete tasks. They like to achieve. They like to make good grades. They like to study and learn and get degrees. They like to be of service, whether it's cooking, cleaning, doing taxes, typing up something for a friend, helping a friend study, giving a friend advice. They're very practical and hands-on. And Pisces is the opposite of that. Pisces is very much in the moment, and they go by what they feel. And it may not be practical. And, being ruled by Neptune, it's going to be a little bit illusion and a little bit mystical and a little bit romanticized and all those, Neptune things. And that can be a little scary for a Virgo South node because it's new, and of course our North node is new territory. So they're learning to open themselves up and feel free. And feeling free is a very good feeling for a South Node Virgo because feeling free means that they feel comfortable to express their true nature and what they really think and feel and to share parts of themselves that they've never shared before. Because a Virgo is very shy and very cautious about being vulnerable. And it's not that they don't trust people, it's that they're conscientious. And they fear rejection. And that's the Virgo's fear of rejection and abandonment. And so becoming a Pisces is putting, stepping out there on that cliff and trusting, if they step off, that, somebody will catch them and that there's a higher power that's there for them that will lift them up and make sure that they are protected. And this is the sign of the psychologist as well. The North Node in Pisces is the healer. It is the compassionate one, the person that listens to your problems, the person that gets it and understands what you're going through because they feel it. And so as a Virgo, as you let go of the Virgo traits of worry and control and obsession and trying to have every detail planned and trying to be perfect, as you let go of that, you're going to release a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety and a lot of those traits that can cause you to feel trapped. So this is the node of service in an emotional, spiritual type of way. Not so much in the practical, basic, hands-on way, an organized way like a Virgo, but inspiration. Pisces need to feel very connected to people. They love music. Music is very healing for a Pisces North Node. So listening to music, relaxing, having healthy relationships is crucial for them. Being able to trust someone and have intimacy is big because, Virgo South Node, as well as Virgo sun signs, are known to be, the word people use is prudish. I don't like that word, but they're a little bit reserved. I think that word is better, about sharing their body and their mind, heart, and soul with someone. They don't readily do that. They're very picky about who they love and who they allow themselves to be intimate with. In this lifetime, the Pisces North Node, they're meant to trust and they're meant to let themselves be intimate and vulnerable with another human being and accept people's flaws is big with this node. To know that everyone has flaws and everyone is going to have something wrong that's flawed and that's okay. So accepting other people's flaws and not judging them and accepting their own flaws and knowing that it's okay that they're not perfect. It's okay if they mess up, and it's okay if things aren't always organized and controlled and planned and work out the exact way they want them. But they're meant to be spiritual and to have intimate bonds with people and an intimate relationship that can be heart, mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, spirit connection is what they need. It's similar to, a soulmate lifetime for them, finding somebody that helps them feel and doing things that help them get connected to God and to their emotions. So music is very healing for them, and also spending time alone is very crucial. And this is a Virgo trait as well, and Virgo and Pisces are both polar opposite signs. So they have similar traits. And I know, being a Virgo, I have to have alone time. I like to be by myself sometimes, to recover and recoup from the daily life and the busyness of work and emotional things. So I need time by myself, not all the time, but I need that at least once a week to have some time alone, off the computer, reading, just meditating, doing things for myself, by myself. And Pisces are the same way. Pisces North nodes have to have time alone, and I find that so many people in my life that I know that have North node Pisces, as they get older, it becomes more and more evident to me that they become more withdrawn. And being withdrawn is not a bad thing. It can be hard for them because they tell me, I feel like I'm lazy, or I feel like, I'm not doing enough, or, I have no motivation. They'll tell me these things, but they're meant to become more peaceful and more simple. And and doing less. They're meant to do less because they were doers. They were the Virgo. They were doing, achieving, serving. And now they're meant to really go within and heal and think and be connected to God and figuring out, the meaning of life, and caring for themselves, and also, having that healthy time to do spiritual pursuits. So they have to have a good balance, and they have to also work and support themselves, of course, but it's not going to be the focus. The focus is going to change on, working. When they work, it needs to be meaningful. It can't just be dutiful work like a Virgo. It must be meaningful. And if it's not meaningful to them, then they won't be fulfilled, and then they won't be happy. And that can cause depression and loneliness and a feeling of isolation if they don't find work that's meaningful, or if they don't have meaningful relationships in their life. They need that. But the people in their life need to realize that as they get older, they're going to become more reclusive, and they're going to become more withdrawn from the physical world. And that's okay. It doesn't mean they're going to be withdrawn emotionally from you or from their loved ones, but they will need time alone, and they will need time by themselves, and they will want to withdraw from the practical, physical, daily routine of life because they're meant to. They've already had the routine, the structure, the sixth house Virgo traits, organization, having things by the book, having things ready, living, by a schedule. In this lifetime, they're meant to let go and surrender to the moment and to their soul mission this lifetime, which is to be a spiritual person. So I will be back to share more about this node in part 2. Thank you.